Hi subscribers and new viewers. Today I'm going to read from my Chiron book again. Viewer request for Capricorn in Chiron. So any one of you who in your natal astrological wheel has a Chiron in Capricorn or the 10th house, this will pertain to you. And it's the 10th house or Capricorn because Capricorn is the natural house of the 10th house. All right, so let's get started. Okay. The 10th house describes parental issues, our attitude to the world out there and to authority figures is strongly colored by our experience of our mother, and her qualities are usually symbolized here. Saturn is the natural ruler of the 10th house and Capricorn. And our first sense of boundaries is provided by mother. Also, until recently, in our culture, many women lived the Saturnian principle through their husbands, taking their roles from them, interfacing with the world through them, and even using their surnames. Thus, the 10th house may describe the mother's unconscious ambitions, her drive for success, independence, and power in the world. If this is so, then her unlived life and unfulfilled ambitions will deeply affect us. The 10th house describes our natural place in the world, our heritage, and the way we seek to express it. It also concerns the laws, institutions, and structures of society and the material world, and on a deeper level, how we aspire to give form to our potentials, manifest ourselves, and participate in the world. With Chiron in Capricorn or the 10th house, we often experience difficulty in setting and achieving goals and finding our place in society. We may have to be patient in our longing for a vocation through which to contribute to the world, as it may only come later in life, preceded by many false starts. On the other hand, we perhaps find it difficult to enjoy the prestige which others perceive us as having, and we are plagued with feelings of failure, no matter how successful we appear. It's usually helpful to examine some of the deeper reasons behind this. We may be setting ourselves impossible standards, or hoping that each new mountain we climb will be the last. We could be struggling under a burden of parental expectations that can never be fulfilled. We are perhaps trying to succeed where they failed, or reach goals that they did not dare to aim for. We could eventually be driven to fail in order to disappoint our parents. Let me read that again. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? We could eventually be driven to fail in order to disappoint our parents. And this might, in fact, be our first success. Isn't that interesting? However, if this is unconscious, we continue to sell ourselves short and fail in order to punish them, not because we lack the ability and drive to succeed. Okay, I'm going to read that again too. That's an important one too. However, if this is unconscious, we continue to sell ourselves short and fail in order to punish them. Again, that's all I'm putting in, that's all unconsciously done. Not because we lack the ability, not because you lack the ability and drive to succeed. Again, Chiron is the wounded healer. So that is first and foremost where each and every one of us are wounded and or feel like we will be wounded, and then go through those experiences again. And then once that happens and we become consciously aware of that, then we can be healed, or we can heal ourselves through the conscious awareness of all of this. Okay. With Chiron in Capricorn or the 10th house, we could eventually find joy in struggling to climb the mountain of our own ambitions. We perhaps cling to external facades and role-playing to conceal our vulnerability and feeling of being somehow out of place. We may either place undue emphasis on material success, prestige, and status, or shun worldly power and position, only to find ourselves falling foul of the system, always getting parking tickets, having our tax affairs investigated, or clashing with authority figures. With this placement, we might seem to lack a sense of responsibility. On closer examination, however, a different picture emerges. We may be assuming responsibility for things over which in reality we have no control. This hinders our ability to be independent in the world, and we then look for someone to take care of us. Shades of the 4th house. We may need to relinquish a futile struggle with difficulties and burdens that really are none of our business. If we carry others' burdens, hoping for some reward or recognition in return, we may be disappointed and become bitter, resentful, and refuse to participate in life. We sometimes misjudge our own capacities, take on too much, fail, and then feel guilty for not living up to our responsibilities. Although we may fear being conspicuous or in a position of control and authority, we perhaps also harbor fantasies of inflated and despotic power. I hope I said that word correctly, despotic. D-E-S-P-O-T-I-C, power, usually suppressed through shame and fear. If these uncomfortable feelings remain unconscious, we could sabotage ourselves on the threshold of success. And again, if you are listening to this, if this is yours, then this is the way that you can reverse all of that. If this part or any of this, because not everything is going to be exactly what you experience or will experience, but you will have some of these. All of you are going to be a little bit different. Okay. With Chiron and Capricorn, the wounded area may be the relationship with the personal father, and thus the father principle in general. The father may have been unknown. He may have been seen as weak and incapable, or rigid and authoritarian, or both. Don't do what I do, do what I say, is a familiar message to many with this placement. And I want to interject too, for some of you, I just feel the need to say this, that if that could have also been your mother, she could have been playing that Saturnian role, fatherly role, because Saturn is the natural placement of father figure, authority figure. And so, as it spoke about mother in the beginning, that could absolutely be that as well. So, just for those of you that pertains to. Men and women alike may grow up determined that they will never be like their fathers. And I'm putting in and or their mothers for some. For some of you, I'm saying that for. They then struggle hard against his model, only to discover later in life that this wounded or authoritarian father looms large within their own psyche and threatens the positive outcome of conscious goals they may be striving for. And again, for some of you, that this could be your mother. Not all of you. Many men become fathers with the intention of doing it different, only to discover later on, to their horror, that they have repeated exactly, but in another form, the characteristics of their own fathers, which were so distasteful to them. And again, I want to say, this could also be mothers too, for some of you. In the following example, however, the pattern was redeemed by the person having had the courage and the opportunity to face his own wounds first. And I'm just skipping. This author gives personal reference to people specific and their specific charts, and specifically to them. And so, since this is a general reading, if you would like me to take photos of this, a written copy for you, and I can send it to you on your email. So just let me know, for those of you that want to hear the rest of this, and even just want to have a written copy for yourself personally so you can reread it. I will be happy to do that. Again, just leave me a comment below with your email and what you want me to photocopy for you, and I will do that, or you can send me an email. Either way. Okay. So let me just... Okay. Sometimes the wound of Chiron in the 10th house reflects issues concerning the mother. She may have been the wounder, and women with this placement may struggle not to repeat the patterns inherited from their mothers. Okay, there you go. Now they're saying it. Okay, good. I'm glad. This is a common placement for people who work in the healing field, and sometimes their choice of profession is a direct attempt to counteract the wounding effects of an early relationship with their mother by becoming a, quote, good mother themselves. They may also be making reparation for unconscious rage against their mother. If the mother was wounded or incapable in some way, they may, when still very young, have become capable in dealing with the world and looking after others. Later on in life, people with this placement often have jobs with a great deal of responsibility and are good at holding situations together. They may not, however, be able to take in nourishment from their life. And this echoes the 4th hour. Anything in the 4th house here. For example, a woman who ran a healing center was told she was like a dealer in healing, not taking it in herself. Initially, she found it impossible deeply to avail herself of what was there on offer, like Chiron giving to others the healing he could not find for himself. On the other hand, a gift of this placement is the ability to foster the growth of others by reparenting them, showing love and giving guidance which may have been previously lacking. Those with this placement also can take seriously their duties towards themselves and others, and are not afraid to struggle with difficulties and burdens which others might shy away from. Okay. All right, so I hope you received information that you can take in and it assists you on your journey. All right. If you have any questions, again, please leave me a comment below. Send me an email and I will be happy to answer your questions, whatever they are. And until next time, bye.